Congressman. As a veteran, what is your reaction to Trump's plans for a military parade next month, which will reportedly include 28 Abrams tanks, 6,700 soldiers, 50 helicopters, 34 horses, 2 mules, and a dog?
I'm crying.
That's what it says. But he is having his military parade for his birthday.
Well, it's, he's a draft dodger. It's his first military thing that he really gets to do. But I think,
damn, the draft dodger comment, I mean, that is a TDS comment. I'm gonna tell you why. Because how can we call this man a draft dodger when when the doctor literally told this man, yeah, you can't serve because you got bone spurs? So how is Trump well, honestly, dodging the draft if the doctor's the one that told him he can't go? It's not like the man just hid under a couch somewhere while the war went down. No, he tried to, and they told him no. I do hate that rhetoric on the whole draft dodger stuff, because it's like, you can't prove that, right? Well, prove to me that this man dodged a draft. Oh, well, he got his father to make out that result. And I'm like, all right, now you're just speculating. I mean, now you're trying to make it make sense, but you still can't prove that.
I think obviously, he likes Putin. He worships Kim Jong-un. He wants to be like that. That's what he wants to do. He wants to be a dictator like those guys, and they have big military parades.
I mean, it just seems to me like if we were taking seriously the idea that our government spends too much money, that Doge comes in there and says, okay, we need to cut 80,000 jobs from the Department of Veterans Affairs, and we're going to get rid of USAID, and we're going to do this and do that. I mean, this seems like it's unnecessary.
You can help.
I just don't like to me, the worst part of it is getting used to the sight of tanks in the streets. That is something we don't see in America.
By the way, as a driver,
it's part of a celebration. I mean, hold on. Can you guys chill out for a second here? You're acting like we're putting these tanks in the streets to go invade, I don't know, Mexico or Canada or something. This is just a celebration. Can we not celebrate the guys that put their lives on the line for us? I mean, can we not do that? Is that wrong? I know Biden didn't do it, but can you guys get in line with it?
In Washington, D.C., our roads are bad enough before the tanks go. That's.
Let me also be clear about something that if you might not know, that we hate parades. You do not want to. You don't sign up to for the military to be in a parade. And $140 million, that could help a lot of vets.
Yeah. I mean, that's actually a fair argument. All right.
It's a lot of money. I mean, that's, honestly,
Now, it's so funny, though. You remember that they're the same Dems that was saying, but that's such a small percentage of our budget. That's like a 0.10001% of our budget, guys. Why are you complaining about $1 million when we're spending $1 trillion, guys? And now you know how we felt when they were releasing the Doge cuts. You guys were going well, just the $30 million set. That's like 0.001%. How much is that out of $6 trillion? Come on. Now you know how we feel. When you guys are making that crazy argument.
If we take them at their word that Doge is about, our deficits are too big. The national.
Hey, and shout out to my man Luke. He says more channel supporters need to be like Montgomery. Super chat though. Hey man, hey. It would be nice. That would be nice. But hey, shout out to my man Montgomery. Shout out to my man Luke, man. Shout out to the supporters. I don't matter what you give, man. Even if it's just $1, I appreciate it.
National debt is a disaster. We need to get control of spending. If we take that seriously, this just doesn't make any sense. There's literally nobody in the military community who wants this.
Why don't you guys like parades?
Okay. And then here's the thing, how do you know that? That's what I'd have to ask them too. I'm like, you know what? If I was doing honest investigation or an honest journalist, I'd just go into the military bases and ask them. I'd go into at least 2 or 3 of them, most popular ones, and be like, how y'all feel about this parade? And if they have some criticisms, then yeah, I'd bring it to forward. And I'd be like, all right, Trump, maybe we should cancel it. These guys are kind of not feeling it. But when you guys just speak for these guys, Jake Tapper, never been in the military. The other guy next to him, I ain't gonna lie, he looks like he's been in the military. I'm not even gonna lie. So I'm not gonna speak for him. But Jake Tapper, most definitely never been in the military.
Nobody in the military community who wants this.
Why don't you guys like parades?
Because
I thought everybody loved a parade.
I guess you got to march.
Because you got to march.
Yeah, I didn't sign up to march. It's not my thing.
I didn't sign up to march, but you march in the army though. So I mean, hold on, wait, what? You didn't sign up to march. Like, not like you're invading nobody. You're just showing off the splendid, like this splendid glory of our army, the most powerful army in the world. Just think about it as, well, America being a big ass bodybuilder, and we're just flexing our muscles with the baby oil on. No, Diddy. Okay. Maybe that wasn't the best one right there, but just think about us just flexing our muscles for the world to see. Just going like, look at us, the most prosperous and strongest country in the world. Why can't you celebrate that with us, man? I'm trying to kick a sandcastle down, Dems. Like, come on now.
With you,
goose step or not.
Yeah,
that's probably what he's looking for.
What does the panel think of the Supreme Court ruling that the Trump administration can revoke legal status for 500,000 immigrants who had been granted parole for parole? That's a strange word for that, for humanitarian reasons. What they're talking about is 500,000 people that the Biden administration let in from, I think, Cuba, Nicaragua, Haiti,
and Afghanistan.
Venezuela.
Well, but also
sure
from Afghanistan for people who risked their lives,
right?
Not just for Afghanistan, but for the United States of America, who served. I would not be here today if not for the translators that I had in Iraq.
I'm sure
they saved our lives more than once, and that's why veterans are so pissed off about this, because we've fought like hell to get them out of Afghanistan. And now Trump wants to just send them back home to that murderous regime where they'll be killed. And it's not just in Afghanistan, but that just shows how morally corrupt he is. And look, let's be honest, he's a racist. He doesn't like black or brown people coming into the United States. White Afrikaners, sure.
No, I think, here's the thing, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Trump kind of feel the same way that I feel about, well, I don't say how I feel about white people. It's like, I'm gonna be real with you, I don't really care about other countries' white people. I care about my white people, the American white people. So that's honestly how I see Trump acting out. Is like, he don't really care about every black person in the world, every black person's problem in a different country. He cares about the black Americans in America. And that's kind of how we should be. Is like, you want this man to care about every other black or Hispanic in the freaking world. When he got enough of them, he got to care about in America. And that's how I feel. It's like, look, I don't care about no white people that are outside of America. I only care about the security of the white people, the Asians, Hispanics that are American, that is inside of America, that are here either born naturally or naturalized. Those are the only ones I care about, Americans. So when this guy tried to make it about, oh, he's a racist because you don't care about these people, them people. I mean, you can't say that. You're only saying he's a racist because you don't care about every black person in the world.
Sure. Roll out the red carpet. But black or brown people, nope, not allowed.
The way that
I know, right? I know. I said I don't care about my white people. No offense. Okay, I only care about the white people that are in America.
Has treated the Afghan allies, not just now, but also right after the collapse of Kabul in August 2021. It's not just a disgrace, and it's not just a violation of a promise that was made to these people. It's also bad thinking, because we will be less likely as a country next time we have one of these forays into foreign policy abroad. We'll be less likely to have people who will help us in whatever country it is, because they will know.
First off, who would ever attack the U.S.? They done lost their mind if they ever tried us like that. And then, well, second, Ukraine had, bro, you guys can say, oh, Ukraine's a sovereign nation and has the right to go into NATO. But for a long time, the red line that Russia proposed was, well, the first red line was that NATO won't go past Germany. NATO violated that. So Putin said, all right, I'll let y'all have that. But my last red line, which you cannot cross, is Ukraine. And NATO was trying to cross that line. Therefore, Putin acted. So you can't sit there and say, oh, for when these guys attack us. I'm like, bro, come on now. Who is going to attack us? And the last people that attacked us, I mean, trust me, they always regret it. Every time somebody attacked America, they always regretted it. I mean, Japan, Afghanistan, Iran, like, come on. Anybody who's ever hit in America has regretted it.
That we didn't honor our promises last time.
I remember one of these conversations really well, where my translator showed up for work and he said, I can't work for you anymore. My family's been threatened. They're going to kill everybody at home. And I had to make the case to him that we're the United States of America. We've got your back. And he bravely kept working for us. and I fought like hell to get him to America. Now my family's worried he might get sent back.
Right. Well, we don't have a great history of sticking by our promises.
No, same happened in Vietnam, obviously. Same happened in Korea.
And the Kurds.
Yep.
Remember the Kurds? Promised them a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, although to be fair, we took in a lot of Vietnamese refugees, and
yes,
they're around Northern Virginia.
You know what's so crazy though? Now, I remember I was watching these two Marines, and I remember the Marines pretty much said, they was like, we have no criticisms of the president. It is actually disrespectful as an army officer to have disrespect towards your commander in chief. You forget that part. The day, and a lot of army guys often do when they're just so radicalized against Trump. But the ones that got their head on straight, those who even hate Trump but got their head on straight, even understands like you don't talk about the commander in chief, especially if you're in the army. But it is what it is. And honestly, I honestly don't care because I'd rather them share their opinions on their president. But I have heard from a lot of, military vets and personnel that they just don't do that
today. And they're great contributors to our society. I mean, let's also not forget what immigrants do. I mean, immigrants founded Google, eBay, right?
No. Immigrants founded Google and eBay, but who made it big though? Who were the main consumer of these items? Us. So without them getting into our market or coming in over here into America, they would have never achieved that success. And well, that. They know that. That's what irritates me about some of these guys, because they're acting like they just did this in their own country. No, they had to come over here to get that American opportunity. And then here's also the thing. They wouldn't survive without us. So it is kind of crazy how you're just putting everything on immigrants. And then you guys are the same ones that are saying that immigrants should do all the low-level jobs. And now you're saying that they should also be what? All of our CEOs as well? So where does the American citizen fit in these Democrats' plan? This is why the American people have left y'all. Because y'all talk out of both sides of y'all mouths. You're like, well, all the immigrants should be the CEOs and all the immigrants should do all the low-wage work. Well, then damn. Where do American people fit into y'all plan?
Right? I mean, they're great contributors to our economy, to our society. We are a country of immigrants, right?
I think 5 of our top 10
but
companies
you would
are run by
admit
immigrants.
Biden let it go too far.
Oh, yes. And the call-in link is open. Go into the main page in the post tab. Go ahead and click the link. And we can go ahead and host some of y'all calls. Remember, if you are a member or if you supported to the stream, even if it's just $1, you are eligible for call-in. Don't matter if you're a disagreeer or a supporter. Let's go.
This is a backlash to that. We had an open border policy.
That
under
has
the bite. Okay,
yes.
but you would admit that that's where
Of
this
course.
feeling comes from. Of course, it's carried out in a horrible way, but that's where if you do something, there's always going to be a counter to it.
I think there's a bit of just racism baked into the Trump's thing.
There absolutely is.
Democrats
There was
made it-
also an open border policy. It seemed like under the Biden.
And we couldn't admit it was a problem.
But can I say,
Right, and the
That's true.
Democrats. Okay.
Yes.
well, I think you're complimenting it.
But you told us that we were racist if we mentioned the problem as well. So it's not even about Trump being racist. It's just that anytime somebody addresses your guy's problem, you have a word for us. It either be transphobic, homophobic, or just straight out racist.
By calling it a policy. Just not to talk about my book again, but one of the things we discovered when we did this book, Original Sin, me and Alex Thompson, is there's a Senator Bennett from Colorado, who went to an event in June 2024 where Biden seemed non-functioning, and he left that event, and this is in the book, thinking this is why our border policy, our immigration policy is such a mess. This guy can't manage the portfolio. There are competing groups within the administration, and he's not engaged for whatever reason, and that's why this policy is such a mess. And I know that the Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security, Mayorkas, he thought there was going to be an order early on in the Biden years, shutting down the border or at least providing more security, and the order never came. So people talk about what are the repercussions of Biden not being what we expect a president to be, just in terms of functioning 100% of the time. This is one of those things. So I think calling it a policy might be a little optimistic.
Honestly, it's not just Biden. I mean, I mentioned this during the show that our governor here recently reversed one of the policies we had here, which was free medical care to undocumented migrants, which pissed off a lot of people who think that shouldn't be happening, that, we should take care of our own, and that's why our taxes are so high. And, it was a rather generous policy you got
Yeah.
as someone who wasn't even a legal citizen, including like being driven to appointments, I think I read. Now, I mean, if that's something that a state like California, which is right on the border of Mexico, is offering, can you blame people for pouring over?
I love all these changes that Newsom's doing, the conversion on the road to Des Moines.
Somebody's got to do it. I mean, this is what we were talking about.
Look, I'm a Democrat who believes that healthcare is a human right, but the bottom line is there are a lot of Americans who don't have healthcare, and it's about to get a lot worse because of the bill that Republicans just passed in the middle of the night. 15 million Americans, not illegal immigrants, 15 million Americans who are going to lose healthcare.
Yeah, well, there's 1.4 million illegals on there, or well, non-citizens, however you want to say it. And then the other millions are people who are single, no children, and able-bodied who are able to work but getting these benefits. Yes, those are the people that will be cut off the benefits, and they either be SNAP or Medicaid. Those are the people that we're talking about. So when you guys want to run off and talk about, oh, well, 15 million people are getting cut. Yes, but can you please explain why?
Because of what Trump and the Republicans are doing. So we've got to keep that context in mind. But the reason why people are pissed off is because a lot of people don't have good enough health care in America today.
But what the Republicans would say, what some people would call a conspiracy theory, and what they would just say is just their theory, is that it wasn't a mistake that the border was left open. They think that the people who come will vote eventually for the Democrats, and that was their plan.
Yeah, at the same time as Trump goes around telling everyone that all the Mexican immigrants, all the black people, they all voted for me this time. So doesn't matter if you're consistent here.
Well, I'll say most of the Mexican men voted for this man Trump. Now, as far as black men, I mean, there's like a very small percentage, like 9%, maybe less, maybe like 8% of black men voted for Trump. So, I mean, hey guys, chill on us. So I'm only of 9%. Remember that. And then, well, when it came to black women, I mean, it was even lower with black women. So trust me, the Dems, y'all still got a hold on the black community, and you still lost. And well, let's be real, it's mainly because you lost out to white guys and Hispanic guys. So yeah, that's on you guys. That is all on you. If anything, the numbers for black people that voted for Trump went up, but you guys still had a large percentage of us.
They're just trying to, scapegoat people.
I think there's a much more innocent explanation, which is there are a lot of people, a lot of progressives who think that the United States should be a refuge for anybody who wants to come here and build a better life. I mean, it can be well-meaning, if even a mistake. I'm not saying it's the right policy, but I don't necessarily think it was a nefarious intent. I think they think this is a much better country.
Yeah, I know. Usually when I hear the argument, it's like a bleeding heart argument. It's like, S.E.T, but they're leaving oppression, but the dictators, the cartels, S.E.T, you just want to be at their mercy. And I'm just like, no, I don't. I'll be quite honest with you. But what they do need to do is go back and take their own damn country, because they can't stay here, especially if it's illegally. And we don't have enough resources for everybody, guys. And when these guys flood into the cities, they usually take jobs away from Americans. So it has all the negative effects on us, and all you can give me is a bleeding heart argument. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to think logically here and think what's best for the people of America and be like, yeah, these guys can't come in here. Sadly, they're gonna have to figure it out in their own countries. It be their government or whatever gang, and they're just gonna have to figure that one out, guys. I'm sorry. It is what it is. Now, those who come over here with great educations on the O1 visa, we welcome them. We do. The H1B visas, we got to cut those. We got to cut those very largely. I'm not saying get rid of it, but it does need to be cut, because that takes away a lot of opportunity from Americans who actually, went out there, went to school, and did the whole thing, especially, college graduates.
To live in, then
it is.
Yeah,
but if you took everyone who actually wanted to come there, you would double the population.
Not my policy, but I'm just saying.
And the policy should incentivize legal immigration,
right?
Not illegal immigration. When I was talking about my translator who lived in my hometown, I was on my 4th deployment to Iraq, and he was living in my bedroom back home, ironically, and he was fighting through the legal process to get qualified to become a citizen, which he did, and he's a citizen today. But along the way, someone told him, you ought to just go to Mexico and walk over. That's the problem. When people think you can do that and get away with it, it doesn't. Immigration is great. It's been essential to our society. None of us would be here today without our immigrant ancestors, but let's make it legal.
Let me ask you one last question.
Whoa, you just want them to come over here? You have to walk into the USA and make it legal, or you want to try to find a process to expedite them to get over here? Like, here's the thing: I would love these Dems to explain a proper immigration process. Like, what do you guys want? Because obviously, you're saying that you didn't want these guys just being flooded in here. So, what did you guys honestly want? Because trust me, nobody's gonna vote for y'all if you just think that, oh yeah, we should just let anybody come in here, just shoot them straight to the top, naturalize them, give them government benefits, because that's what you guys are doing. Remember that. That's what you guys are doing. Now, if you're saying you don't agree with what the Biden administration was doing, then please give us something better.
So, person with military background. I saw in the paper today, Trump is talking about his Golden Dome. You know, Israel has the Iron Dome to shoot down missiles, and it's been a tremendous success over there. He, of course, wants to up that to a Golden Dome.
He wants the golden version of his. Yeah.
Very hard to parody this guy. He beats you to it every time. It's a Golden Dome. Okay, he offered Canada this deal: join as the 51st state, and you'll get the Golden Dome free.
Yep, or pay $61 billion. I was weak. I was like, hey, yo, but hey, I mean, Canada, 51st state or $61 billion. Either way, you're gonna pay for this protection. Everybody gonna pay now.
The Golden Dome will cover you too. Otherwise, it's going to cost $61 billion if you want coverage of the Golden Dome for Canada too. I mean, we could do it, but it's going to cost $61 billion.
Yeah.
Or you can join as the 51st state and get it for free. Your choice.
Either way.
And we will throw in the undercoat. I mean, what is your?
We have a problem with terminology here because Israel also just unveiled what they call the Iron Beam. And part of the Golden Dome is shooting things from space, but we also want the Iron Beam or the Golden Dome shooting things up. So we're trying to decide, how do you distinguish the golden beam here from the golden beam there? And I think we should call the one coming down the golden shower. And then that's probably something that
Okay, that was funny.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We're not going to talk.
All right, that was funny. Caught one the golden shower. All right, he funny for that one. Like I said, I don't like these libs, but you know what? God damn it, they have some good jokes, and it's not like I hate them because